Back with the WMAY morning news feed, now 8:11. I'm Greg Bishop. On this Monday, December 27th, hopefully you all had a good holiday and Merry Christmas as we march right towards the end of 2021. I can't believe it's almost the end of the year. Last half hour, we talked with Springfield Mayor Jim Langfelder about a variety of issues, everything from vaccine mandates to what he wants to do with what's happening up in Chicago, for instance, with requiring vaccine proof to go into establishments. The mayor saying he's not willing to make that decision at this time. So a couple of different things there. Other things concerning city business, what to do with federal dollars. But we also talked with the mayor about what we're seeing between the city of Springfield and the Springfield Airport Authority concerning aviation fuel taxes. And is the city withholding taxes for the airport authority? To hopefully get a little bit more context here and what this lawsuit is all about, this lawsuit that the airport authority last week approved to move forward. We talk now with the Springfield Airport Authority Board Chair, Frank Vala, here on the WMAY morning news feed. Frank, thanks for taking time with us this morning, and hopefully you had a good holiday.
Had a nice holiday, Greg. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. So I guess let's just get right into it here with the Springfield Airport Authority now moving forward with a lawsuit. Have you found an attorney, and what's really at the crux of this?
Well, we are close to making the final decision on the law firm that will represent us. It's a shame we have to go to this distance for two government entities to work together, but the mayor has told the city council that this is the first time he's known about it, and we have been sending letters and having personal visits, professional visits with the mayor since 2014 when Mike Houston was mayor. But they continue to block off and saying that FAA has no legal authority over them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The aviation sales tax is a ruling by the FAA, which is a federal law. It says that money collected for motors aviation fuel tax will be used for the benefit of the airport. If we're not, the city is not the sponsor of Springfield Airport Authority. The airport authority is the sponsor, so we are the ones that rightfully have the money. The mayor continues to think that, as he said at the council meeting last Tuesday night, the airport's in Springfield. This is Springfield money. Well, the mayor doesn't seem to understand that the Springfield Airport Authority is a different government agency, and it was formed under the Act in relation to airport authorities, approved back in 1945, and it's a district that's beyond the city of Springfield. It's a district which includes city of Springfield and 4 satellite municipalities and the unincorporated area between there. It goes as far south as northern Chatham. It covers Leland Grove. It covers Jerome. I can't give you the exact leaps and bounds of the district.
But bottom line is there's a lot of different taxing authority that the airport authority has that impacts not just Springfield, but other municipalities. Their taxpayers pay into the Springfield Airport Authority. But let's get to this particular issue, though, with the aviation taxes. So what we gather from the mayor, he says that while the federal law may have been updated in, I think, 2014 or 2015, state legislators didn't comply or at least reflect that federal law until 2019. And I remember this being an issue at the State House, covering the State House with State Representative Mike Zaleski bringing this issue forward in 2019 and it being somewhat contentious and trying to get the airports, at least around the Chicago area, to deal with this. So are you saying that the city owes all the way back to, and I forget if it's 2014 or 2015 when the federal law changed? Is that what you're saying? Is that $800,000 to possibly $1 million in revenues that the airport authority is not getting? Is that from that time frame, or is that all the way up until current time as well?
That's from we are basing our numbers and our decisions from 2014 forward to 2019 when the Illinois Department of Revenue changed how they distribute the tax money that they collect.
So would it be more? Well, I guess I don't know. Would it be more conducive to challenge the state in this, or are you essentially the claim is going to be that the city of Springfield has that money and utilized that money from 2014 to 2019, and that's the money you guys are going after in particular?
Right. The the state of Illinois collected the tax money, and then from there, I'm not an expert on this, but the money is calculated, distributed to the normal taxing bodies. Well, Springfield Airport money was apparently sent to the city of Springfield, who in turn were supposed to take that only the money that covered the aviation fuel tax sales and distribute it to the airport authority. The law that the city keeps talking about, maybe Illinois law, may not be, but we're talking about the law established by Congress, by the federal government. So I don't know where Attorney Zirkle and Mayor Langfelder could say that because the state didn't pass something, federal law trumps all other laws.
Well, I would imagine too when it comes to things like our airspace, right, and international or interstate commerce impacted by that, and so on. 8:17 now. We're talking with Frank Vala. He is the chairman of the Springfield Airport Authority here on the WMAY morning news feed. So we'll watch what exactly happens with this case and follow that through. But real quick on this, what's your reaction to even the mayor saying that this should have been done? I think his term was diplomatically instead of possibly costing taxpayers more by having to go to court on both sides of this.
Well, Greg, I wish the mayor would do what he says instead of just saying empty statements. We have tried to deal with them. We have multiple letters from our attorneys. We have had different board members with the power of the authority to go sit down and talk with the mayor to explain what the law is. These are standards that, again, are based on what the federal government requires. The city's contention on the 2019 legislation from Illinois is the fact that municipalities like the city of Springfield were not forwarding the appropriate amount of money to airport authorities. So finally, they said, instead of getting into the fight of not getting their money from cities, the Illinois Department of Revenue set up a specific aviation fund. That may not be the correct terminology, and the airport or the revenue puts that money into that, and then we as an airport get our proportionate share from the Illinois Department of Revenue now. But the law has always been there. It's just that the fact that the city of Springfield would not release our share of the money. And what the city doesn't understand by holding that money, Greg, is that the airport authority, like I said earlier, covers more than the city of Springfield. So people in Leland Grove and Jerome and Chatham are paying a higher real estate tax because we don't have that money that the city is supposed to give us to put into our budget. So we have to raise it in tax money instead of the money that the city believes is theirs.
Well, again, I think definitely we'll talk more about this as the case progresses and we unpack all of the specifics as this progresses. So we'll definitely connect again on this in the near future. Frank, while I've got you here, we're talking with Frank Vala. He is the chairman of the Springfield Airport Authority. An interesting spread in the State Journal-Register this morning talking about all the investments that are going on at the Capitol Airport, tens of millions of dollars. Tell us what we've done so far and what we plan on doing in the years ahead.
Well, since I've been chairman, we've put in a whole new entrance to the airport itself. Instead of having that crazy crossover with the air guard, We've recycled a bunch of our hangars and updated them. And our FBO, we have a first class FBO for the private planes to come in and to refuel, get service, stuff like that. We are just about at the stage of ready to dedicate the new expansion of our terminal. It's first class Erfurt Airport of our size. We have just opened up a new flight route from nonstop Springfield to Phoenix, Arizona. We've expanded the parking lots. The runway that the $20-some million that we're going to spend is one of the old runways that crossed the two existing runways, and it's FAA has ruled it as a safety hazard, and we will remove that. Now we have most of our money, clean that area up, take care of drainage, take care of all the wildlife necessary things by DNR. And that'll open up 150 acres more that we can develop. We can bring in new industry. We can bring in maybe some other military operations. We could expand the facilities that we have there. Standard Aero is looking at expanding things. We're working all the time. We're working into the future. We set 5-year goals depending on the money, and just want to continue to make Springfield a first class operation.
Well, and when it comes to the options out of Springfield, could we possibly see more potential options as to where people can fly out of Springfield to head to?
We are working on that all the time. Mark Hanna meets with the airport, the airlines people, at least every other month, face to face, not counting the weekly phone calls and stuff like that. And like I just mentioned, we have just started a brand new route, November 18th, nonstop Springfield to Phoenix Mesa. So will we get more flights? Who could guess on COVID now? COVID. It's just as we go one step forward, the federal government makes another decision on COVID, and we go 2 steps back. But I'm proud to say that under all this pressure, we have kept the airport authority running. We have kept as much service as we legally can, and safety-wise, to make sure that our flyers are not exposed. We do our cleanups, we do our distancing and mask requirements and all of that. But let me say that we would love to have more business, but airlines make their own decisions. They own the airline. All they do is pay us to land, and some airlines pay us to maintain their airplanes, the boarding and the ticket sales and the cleanup.
Well, we'll definitely keep an eye on what's happening at the airport, and hopefully talk with you again in the near future. Frank Vala, he is the Springfield Airport Authority Chairman here on the WMAY Morning News Feed. Frank, thanks again, and be safe out there, all right?
Okay, thank you.
It is the WMAY Morning News Feed now, 8:25, and your forecast. We're looking at a high of 46 today with